Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When we think of the Mesozoic Era, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably the towering, fearsome Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? We imagine these giant predators ruling a prehistoric world, a simple food chain where the biggest carnivore was king. But what if I told you the reality was far more complex? A delicate dance of life and death, held in balance not just by one king, but by a whole court of critical players. Today, we read peeling back the layers of the age of dinosaurs to uncover the true keystone predators of the Mesozoic, the animals that shaped entire ecosystems. So, what exactly is a keystone predator? Think of an archway. The keystone is the single stone at the very top that holds all the other stones in place. Remove it, and the whole arch collapses. In an ecosystem, a keystone predator does the same thing. They might not be the biggest or the most numerous, but their presence has a huge cascading effect on the entire food web. They control the populations of other animals, which in turn affects plant life, and can even change the physical landscape itself. Without them, the ecosystem can spiral into chaos. The classic modern example is the wolf in Yellowstone. When they were reintroduced, they didn't just control the elk population. Their presence led to recovering forests, healthier riverbanks, and a boom in biodiversity. We're going to apply this same lens to the Mesozoic. Let's travel back to the Triassic period, the dawn of the dinosaurs. The world was recovering from a massive extinction event, and new life was finding its footing. The top predators here weren't actually dinosaurs yet. Instead, giants like Postosuchus, a massive Rauisuchian, roamed the land. These crocodile relatives were apex predators, sure, but were they keystones? To answer that, we have to look at their prey. They hunted early herbivores like Placerius. By keeping these large herbivore populations in check, they likely prevented overgrazing, allowing the sparse Triassic flora to thrive. This created habitats for smaller animals, insects, and the very first small dinosaurs hiding in the undergrowth. So, while not a dinosaur, Postosuchus and its kin were the original architects of the recovering world, setting the stage for the giants to come. Now, let's jump forward to the Jurassic, a period of true giants. This is when sauropods, the long-necked dinosaurs like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus, reached incredible sizes. An adult sauropod was practically invulnerable. So, how do you have a keystone predator in a world of walking mountains? The key is to think young. While an adult Brachiosaurus was safe, its young were not. This is where predators like Allosaurus come in. Allosaurus was the lion of the Jurassic. It was large, powerful, and hunted in packs. Their primary role wasn't necessarily taking down the biggest adults, but preying on the young, the old, and the weak members of these sauropod herds. This selective pressure was crucial. It ensured only the strongest sauropods survived to adulthood, strengthening the gene pool. It also prevented a population explosion of these colossal herbivores, which would have stripped the landscape bare, destroying the habitat for everyone else. Allosaurus wasn't just a hunter, it was a quality control manager for the entire Jurassic ecosystem. But what about the oceans? The Mesozoic seas were just as dynamic and dangerous as the land. During the late Jurassic and into the Cretaceous, the oceans were dominated by colossal marine reptiles. And perhaps the most significant keystone predator of the waves was the pliosaur, often nicknamed Predator X. These were short-necked plesiosaurs built for power, with massive skulls and teeth the size of bananas. Their prey included everything from large fish to other marine reptiles like the long-necked plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs. By controlling the populations of these mid-level marine predators, pliosaurs maintained the balance of the entire marine food web. Without them, one of the other predator groups might have boomed, wiping out the smaller fish populations that formed the base of the oceanic food pyramid. The pliosaurs were the ocean's ultimate regulators, ensuring no single group could monopolize the marine resources. Now, we arrive at the Cretaceous period, the final act of the dinosaurs. And yes, we have to talk about the tyrant lizard king. T-Rex was undoubtedly an apex predator. It was huge, had the most powerful bite force of any land animal ever, and was terrifyingly intelligent. But was it a keystone? The evidence is compelling. T-Rex didn't just hunt whatever it wanted. Studies of its bite marks and fossilized stomach contents suggest it had a preferred diet, primarily targeting large herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus. By focusing on these dominant large-bodied herbivores, T-Rex performed a classic keystone function. It prevented these mega herbivores from overpopulating and decimating the lush Cretaceous vegetation. This preserved the forests and low-lying plants that provided food and shelter for dozens of other species, from smaller herbivores to the mammals that were our own distant ancestors. So, T-Rex wasn't just a mindless monster, it was a vital ecosystem engineer, the final, mighty keystone holding the arch of the late Cretaceous world together. But the story doesn't end with the giants. A truly healthy ecosystem has keystones at multiple levels. Let's look smaller. In the skies, pterosaurs like Quetzalcoatlus, with a wingspan like a small airplane, were likely keystone predators in their own right. They would have snatched up small dinosaurs, mammals, and lizards from the ground, controlling populations from above. And what about the unsung heroes? Smaller predators like the dromaeosaurs, the raptors, were incredibly important. While a pack of Deinonychus might take down a larger herbivore, they also specialized in hunting smaller, faster animals. This pressure from mid-sized predators is vital. It creates a landscape of fear, forcing smaller herbivores to be constantly vigilant, influencing where and when they feed, which in turn shapes plant distribution. They were the middle managers of the Mesozoic, ensuring the system ran smoothly from the ground up. So, who truly held the balance in the Mesozoic? The answer isn't a single species. It was a complex and shifting network of predators, each playing a critical role in their specific time and place. From the early Rauisuchians of the Triassic to the pack-hunting Allosaurus of the Jurassic, the mighty marine pliosaurs, and finally the definitive T-Rex of the Cretaceous, each was a keystone in its own era. And let's not forget the supporting cast of smaller carnivores and flying reptiles, all contributing to this incredible 180 million year-long story of life. The world of the dinosaurs wasn't just about being the biggest or the baddest. It was about balance. It was a perfectly tuned, deeply intricate system where every piece, especially the predators, mattered immensely. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back through time. It's a fascinating reminder that nature, both past and present, is far more complex and interconnected than we often imagine. If you enjoyed this deep dive into prehistoric ecosystems, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more adventures into the ancient world. Let me know in the comments which Mesozoic predator you think was the most important. Until next time, stay curious.